Yeah, I recorded now. Okay. So with this example, right, whatever I showed, the advantage, like, the simple copy. So this like, simple copy. Let me record second. Put it back. Okay, so for the advantage of the cloning, right? So I put the clone method here, and then we created, like, the multiple cloned student objects. The advantage, like, if you want to replace this with, like, the new keyword, what we have to do? We have to put student to, and then student to object. We have to set this unnecessary, like, the processing time is avoided with the simple one line. That is about cloning. Okay, so now, yeah, you can practice this program and let me know if any questions. Okay, that's about the cloning, and I'll move on to next one. So, that's the simple one actually. You don't need to. We usually don't use clone actually in real time. Just knowing the concept is always good. Okay. So this is not very important, I can say. Java recursion, we'll see. So Java recursion and pass by value. So what is the recursion? So recursion, basically, right? So it is a process in which method calls itself, like, method calls itself. So that means recursion means if any method is there, if you call itself for multiple times, it is called recursion. So in real time, like, we use some places the recursion, but like, you need to know what is recursion, like, that means here, if you look at the example, factorial. Factorial is, what is factorial, right? Factorial is like, if you want to find the factorial of one of the number. Let's say I want to find the 10 factorial number. I think this is math, simple math, right? So when you study, you would know what is factorial number. So for 10 number, if you want to find out factorial, what you have to do? You have to multiply all the, like, way up to 1. So 10, 9, 8, 7, like that, up to 1 we have to multiply. So this is the factorial. So if you want to find this factorial number for any one of the given number, we can use recursion example. So factorial is one of the method here, and this factorial, what it does here inside, like, it's first check whether the passed number is one or not. If it is one, it returns one. Otherwise, it again return n multiply factorially. Here, if you look at it, right, here it is making the same method call factorial. So it will loop until this condition become true. So let me run this program. You can understand what is recursion. Okay. I'll put the same program so that, we'll have the recursion factors. Okay, it came that's 120. That means 5 multiply 4 multiply 3 multiply 2 multiply 1. So that means 5 times 4 20, 20 times 3 60, 60 times to 2 120, which is correct. Let's find out 3. If you put 3, what would it will return? 6, right? Let's put 3 here. It returns 6. Okay. So that is about factorial. And if you observe here, like the logic, right? When you're trying to make a factorial method call, it actually first it will hit here. Inside check whether first time number, whatever we pass is 1 or not. If it is 1, that it returns 1. Otherwise, what it does, it will return like, number, else return number multiply. That means 3 multiply factorial of 3 minus 2. That means 1. Whatever it returns the 1, that will append here the multiplication. So that means inside the factor again it will make a same call with 2 this time. So this is like, it will continue the loop until it number become 1. That means it will first try with the 3, and then next it will actually make the same method call, same factor method for 2, and it will make the same method call for 1 also. If it is 1, then it will exit and it will actually append all the, it will multiply all the values. That's about recursion. Recursion means the definition is calling, like, inside the method, calling to the same method like multiple times until one condition meet. That's called recursion. Calling method itself, same method itself is called recursion. So do you get it? What is recursion? Any questions?
So regression is just factorial, right? Factorial of
No, that is one example I given. Recursion
yeah,
is not
like
factorial. Yeah.
yeah, like a factorial, right?
Yeah, here the method is a recursion. The method is recursion here.
Mm-hmm.
So because here we are making same call multiple times, same call again, again and again until it reaches one condition. Okay, that's
Okay.
about recursion. I'm making same call inside in one of the method. If I make the same method call again, that's called recursion. Okay, so inside the method, if you make a same call again, so that is called recursion. Do you get it? What is recursion?
Oh, calling calling one
Same
thing,
method
yeah, multiple times.
multiple times. Same method if you do. Like,
Yeah.
it will keep.
Why are we calling it multiple times? What's the purpose of calling multiple times?
Purpose to achieve some functionality. Like, there will be a, real-time scenarios where you need to make a call. Okay, so this for looping, like to achieve looping, we use.
Oh, looping. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, looping. So this will keep looping, right? Until like we reach this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's move
I
on to
see.
next
Okay.
topic. That is recursion. And then next one is pass by valid, pass by method, pass by reference basically. So pass by valid, pass by reference is nothing but, so when you pass parameters, right? Like, how it maintains the copy of the past value. So that is about past uh, value and pass by reference. So that means, so when you are like, let's say in this example, okay, so we are actually, there is one method, modify values method is there. Inside there are three parameters, okay, int a, int b, and subject sub. So, and when we are making this method call, right? So when we are making this method call from here, we pass the values, right? We pass the values a, b, and subject one. What are the values we are passing? A is a 10, we are passing here, and b is 12, we are passing here, and subject is one of the object we are passing here. So when you pass the values, how Java behaves, okay, whether it works by value or like, by reference. That means when you pass like, the value, the data, how it actually behaves. It is by reference or like, the same like, value it maintains. I'll tell you what is pass by value and pass by reference. Okay, so let me copy with example. I will show. Okay, so now this is the program, right? What we are doing here. So we are actually no, there is a subject class which has one property which is the name, subject name, and this getter setter I created one parameters constructor I created. So now, so there are in main method there are three like no variables. One is a variable which assigned to like 10 value, and b variable assigned 12 value, and the subject object we are creating like with a new keyword. So this there's one more object. So now when we are trying to like make this modify values, right? So before I just print like values a b, what is the value subject name under modify values. Like when you try to make a modify value, so the method, right, it actually pass a b and subject one. So that means like here we are trying to modify a value 10, b value 30, and then like subject also we try to like set different name. Initially it was physics, and we try to change the math. Now we'll try to display like how after modify values, whether this like the copyright whatever we modify here inside the object, whether it actually reflect back the values or not. Let's observe like how it works. So so now if you look at it, try this example. First initially 10 displayed here. Okay, 10 20 10 12 displayed. Okay, it's 10 12 displayed. So okay, now if you look at initially it display a value as a value as 10, okay, which is correct. B value as 10 12, which is correct, and subject name what it is, physics initially. Okay, here in this 26 slide it display this statement. And 27 line, what we are doing, we are making a modify values method with the passing 10, 20 here. But here inside, actually, the A value is changing back to 20, B value is changing back to 30. Then after we make this method call, we are again trying to print the values. So it still displays 10 and 12 because so if you use any primitive values like int, double or any primitive values, when you pass the value and if the value is changed inside the method, it will not reflect the back. That means it will not maintain the same copy back. It will still whatever the initial version is there, it is still maintained. So that is called pass by value. So when you pass by value, so it will just it will pass the value, and whatever the pass value, you can use that value here inside the method. But inside the method, whatever the value it reflect, it will not reflect back. That's called pass by value. Pass by reference, right? So that means the object here we are passing as a reference. So this is a reference variable. Inside the reference variable, if you pass the data, if you just adjust the data, that will reflect back. That is the reason subject name only is modified here, but int values 10 and 12 will not be modified. Pass by reference means when you pass a reference, the object whatever you modified, that will actually reflect back, even when you return back from the methods. That's called pass by reference. Now I'll read the definition. So what is pass by value? Pass by value. The method parameter values are copied into another variable, and then copied object is passed. That's why it is called pass by value. So the method parameter values are copied to another variable. So and the copied object is passed. So that means what they're saying, trying to say. Pass by value means when we pass any values into the another method, copied values will not reflect back. That's called pass by value. Pass by reference means alias of reference action parameter is passed to the method. That's why it's called pass by reference. So when pass the value, it's called pass by value, and when you pass the reference, it's called pass by reference. So there is only call by value in Java, not call by reference. So that means Java works by value only, not by reference. In case of objects, it works as a reference. So the definition, like when you look at it, pass by value means we are passing the value. Here we are passing the reference. So that means in this case, right? In case of subject, we are passing the reference. If we pass the object, nothing but reference. Here is pass by reference. Here in this case, pass by value. Yeah, that's about pass by value and reference. You can just practice this program, understand by looking at the document. It's a simple thing to understand actually. Yeah, it's not much complex.
A question.
Yeah.
So when they say in Java it's called by value, it's not exactly correct though, then, because we just pass by reference.
In case of objects, it works as a reference only. It just maintains a separate copy. I mean, it actually maintains that both. Whatever the subject one here you have and what you are passing, it maintains. It refers the same memory. It works as a reference, but in case of objects, it looks like as a reference, but here it is passing the value. Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to change the primitive values, like since it's reflecting exactly the same values, how would you do that? You don't reflect 20,
You
30
can't do
instead
that.
of-
That's not allowed.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can do that. Okay.
Yeah, you cannot do that. Yes. Okay, that's all from today's class. So I will start this another new topic, which is exception handling from tomorrow. Let me. What is sorry, string is tomorrow. String, it doesn't take much time actually. It's hardly like 10-15 minutes. So and then I'll start the exception only. So I think another 2-3 weeks this like collections. Entire course will be done. This course Java. Okay, so we'll catch up tomorrow. Any questions so far?
I guess we got a review. I got a review. That's why I can have questions.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
after I read.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Any questions in marketing? Let me stop sharing. Let me stop recording.